Today we're going to take a look at the Pumpkin Pie Bakery once again. So Janelle and Hector work at the Pumpkin Pie Bakery as pie makers. Janelle can make 10 pies in 2 hours, and Hector can make 9 pies in 3 hours, assuming these rates are constant. So that constant means there doesn't change. So every hour they're making 10 pies or 9 pies every 3 hours. So how many pies can they make if they work together in 1 hour? So Janelle, she makes 10 pies in 2 hours. So how many pies would that be in 1 hour? So that would be 5 pies in 1 hour. And then Hector, he makes 9 pies in 3 hours. So in 1 hour, he'd be making 3 pies because that rate is constant. So total in an hour, they'd be making 8 pies together. So if we remember, the amount of profit a bakery earns each day depends on the number of pies made in. The profit formula, here is how much profit they make. So if Janelle and Hector make 20 pies, how much profit will the bakery earn? Well, if they make 20 pies together, right, that would be their profit, which is $225. So last Saturday, Janelle worked together for 5 hours. How many pies could they make? Well, they make 8 pies an hour, so 5 times 8 equals 40. How much profit could the bakery make? Well, 15.5 times 40 minus 85 would give us $535. So the manager of the bakery is trying to decide how many hours to schedule Janelle and Hector to work based on the desired amount of profit. Complete the table below to determine their profit. So how many pies? So 8 times 3, they could make 24. 6.5 times, keep it the same, 8 times 6.5, they could make 52. And 8 times 8.25 hours, they could make 66. So then for their profit, 15.5 times 24 minus $85 gives us $257. 15.5 times 52 minus 85 gives us $721. 15.5 times 66 minus 85 is $935. So we're going to take a look at this now. What does this mean in terms of function notation? So this is like how many pies they can make. So the number of pies in T hours. So this is their number of pies. How much profit? So the profit based on that was our profit equation, right? How many pies could they make in an 8-hour shift? Okay, so we have these two functions, their number of hours worked and their profit. So the number of pies, that is N of T. And then what did we do on this one? We took our profit equation and we added in our number of pies, right? So it's like we took one function and put it in another. So our profit equation, P of N of T, so our profit based on this is the number of pies, would be 15.5 times 8t minus 85. So we went from this being just an N to our total pies we made. So one day the manager forgot to write down Janelle and Hector's hours. She does not know how many hours they work, but they made $411 profit. So we need 411 equals 15.5 times 8t minus 85. And then we could solve this equation. So today what we're looking at is like the composition of functions. So what this means is kind of like we took our hours worked. We took we knew the hours that they worked and figured out the pies and put it in our profit. We're taking one function and putting in another. So if this is like if we have two functions, we have f of x and g of x, two different equations. So what this means is to input g of x into f of x. And we read it f of g of x. And you can do it the other way. We can say g of f of x, but this time we input f of x into g of x. And we read it g of f of x. So if we're going to take a look at some with actual equations. So this one, we input w of 3 into v. So w of 3, that would be 4 times 3 plus 1. So that gives us 13. So then this is really, so we figured out this part first. So now we do v of 13. So that's 3 times 13 squared, which gives us 507. And we're going to go down and do this bottom one first. So what does this mean? Input v of 7 into w. So I got to calculate out this part first. So v of 7, 3 times 7 squared, and that's 147. So this is really w of 147. So 4 times 147 plus 1 is 589. Now, it gets a little trickier when we are inputting an equation in there. So up here, let's see, where do we have room to write this? Maybe I'm going to put a little box right here. So let's say f of x equals 2x. So do you agree if I said f of 3, I'd say 2 times 3 is 6. If I said f of 4, I'd say 2 times 4 plus 6. Or not plus 6. 2 times 4 is 8. If I did f of w, it'd be 2 times w. If I did f of m, it'd be 2 times m. If I did f of w plus 3, it'd be 2 times w plus 3. If I did f of 2w plus 5, it'd be 2 times 2w plus 5. So we're just replacing it, and sometimes it can have more than one term. So when we look at this next one, this is our input. So we input w of x into v. So v, we don't have a number, so I'm going to take the entire 4x plus 1. So here's our v equation. So it's going to be 3 times 4x plus 1 squared. All right, so this one, here's our input. So it's going to be w of 3x squared. So now I go to my w equation, which was 4x plus 1, and it'll become 3x squared plus 1. And this one we could simplify to 12x squared plus 1.